Hey guys, this is Patrick. This video is for the discussion post 1 within ASD February 2012. Briefly recap, or just edit to include the problems you had at the time when I'm going back and looking at MIU and visual frameworks. So I actually went back to the first week of MIU, and the two things that I mentioned were the GitHub being a little bit tricky and ultimately getting it just takes a minute. And then also the visual feel of the application that I was creating was non-existent. Really, I didn't like it, and that was a little bit of a frustration. So really, since then, to be honest, GitHub is interesting. I fully understand why we need to use it, and I get it every time. It works. However, when I'm putting together my GH pages, I don't really know what I'm doing. It just works, and I think it's just that I set it up with that first video, and I'm always like wondering exactly what I'm doing. Also, when this past time when I was making a commit and I was switching over to my GH pages, the stuff that I was working on, essentially, I guess it changed locations in the folder, or I was no longer working on that technically because I'm now working on the GHP. It was weird, but it would delete my index file, and I had to go back and recreate it or go back to the previous GitHub commit, which was fine because that's why it's there. But definitely some little tiny bugs that I haven't actually had before. So yeah, GitHub does persist. I don't think it's that big a deal. I don't gripe on it, but when I think about the little issues that I am having, it still happens. So, but it's just weird. I really don't know how I'm doing the GitHub, but it's working. Like it, I think it's just because I set it up appropriately the first time around with the introductory video. Also, so did my visual feel of my application persist? By no means. That was great. jQuery Mobile really just turns your application mobile. What I had before was very web-based, very simplistic, not what you would want to distribute. jQuery Mobile quickly turns your application into that mobile feel, which is, it's, to be honest, for me, it's really, really cool. And within those, is there anyone in particular, student, teacher, anyone else who helped you through the problem? GitHub, no. Again, it's just a weird problem. It always works, but I've never really needed to go elsewhere. It works, just a little finicky. And then with the overall visual look of everything, not really that either. To be honest, I really like working things out and figuring things out on my own. Now, talking to Robin last month, I definitely did ask her for some help from time to time, but it really was more that I was overthinking things than anything else. So technically, when I look back and ask him the questions I did, I probably didn't even need help. It was just really working through the stuff. Now, this stuff does not come to me very easily. I'm definitely working extremely long hours to understand all this, but that's what I would expect. So, yeah, that's really it. I think JavaScript is still something I want to learn more about. Kind of frightening when we came in to say that we need to be experts, or I feel like it's kind of said that we need to be experts in it. I'm definitely no expert in JavaScript, but I'm definitely learning, and I'm learning more. I can read it, but I don't feel overly confident to be able to write everything that we have existing again from a blank scratch of blank screen. So that's where I need to continue to fully understand JavaScript. That was some of my other difficulties from previously. Persisting, but at the same time still learning from it, which is I think what we're supposed to do. That's it. So I'll see what you guys say too, and look forward to week 2. Hopefully it gets better.